Hello. I think I'm live. It's always a little bit of a gamble with YouTube, but that does look like I am online. Um, how is everybody doing? Nice to see so many people waiting in chat already. Dip, Dipigus, Psytrance, Hardwick, Nibiru. How are you guys doing? Malogify is probably also here. Hello. Hello. We're going to be doing another challenge today. So let me start the join timer so people know how much time until we get into the challenge. I'll drag in the sample so you guys can hear it. We are going to be making a track from this sample here. Oh, it's warped. Let's not do that. I'll share it in the Discord as well. The sample is shared. We do still have to wait a little bit, obviously, for everybody to join in. So I put together a nice little sample. Usually what I want to do is have maybe a bit more, something a bit less random, basically. But for today we didn't really have I didn't have anything prepared, so I just kind of came up with this. And the goal is just going to be to build a track around this sample, play with it however you want, and do with it whatever you want. Just try to get creative and see what different people kind of come up with. Are we supposed to make only sounds from that one sample? No, you can add whatever you want. This should just be like the basis of your track. I don't really want to put those kind of restrictions on people unless we're doing something like really special. The challenge is kind of... These challenges, I want to design these challenges every other week. I'm doing them so that you have like a starting point for a track to work with, right? So even if you were to take out the sample, maybe you could still work on it as like a starting off point. Obviously, you cannot just like distribute this sample as it is because there is some clearance things in there that I'm not really sure of. It does use sounds from somebody else who gave me permission to use this sample specifically from this challenge. And I'm not going to get into it too much, but yes, it's in G, 150 BPM. Obviously, you can change that, whatever you want to do with it. I might change it as well. I want to quickly paste the link to show that I'm live. Let people know in the Discord as well that I'm doing a challenge again and that I'm live streaming. So much to organize for a live stream here. But it should be all worth it. Today is challenge day. Send out a message. There we are. So the challenge begins. Yes, in 7 minutes you have time to download the sample and put it in your DAW, get to know it, make sure that it isn't like warped like I had before. And once this timer hits 0, I'm going to turn on the other timer, and then you guys will have the timer down below as usual to actually show that how much time is left. As always, I'm going to give you guys 3 hours to make something from it. I think that's a nice like length in terms of the time. It also gives time for people who maybe join into the stream late to still contribute, right? So if people join in an hour late, they still have 2 hours to put something together, in which time you can still put together like a decent, not a whole track. Obviously, you cannot make like an 8-minute track in that case, I would say, probably, unless you're really fast at like what you do with the production. But even if people join in late, they still should be able to participate in the challenge. So that's kind of cool, I guess. So you have like decent time to get your creative juices flowing. Hello Wave Morpher. Hello Sai. Are there any other names? Aiden. Mind B is also here. But yeah, we'll just have to wait another 5 minutes to see everybody join in. Make sure that you download the sample. I don't know if you guys saw in the Discord, I kind of revamped that part of the Discord that regards to stream. So the sample is right here. If you're not in the Discord, then it's !Discord to get in here. And at the end of the challenge, we can submit things here. What I'm going to do for next week is I'm going to try to do feedback, like a feedback stream, so you can submit your tracks for the feedback. And that can be done here. If you want feedback on stream, then you get feedback from me, and I'll listen to your track and then try to give some feedback on it. So what I'm going to do from now on is I'm going to try to alternate every Sunday between challenge and feedback, just to see how it goes. Challenge sample is intro. It doesn't have to be an intro. You can use it however you want. That's the kind of creative part of this, is to try to see how you could use the sample to make something creative. Already see 13 people watching, so hopefully a lot of people are joining in. It's always nice to get a lot of people enthusiastic for what we're doing here. Quickly need to set up the other timer so that it's ready when we are. There it is, down below. So yeah, the goal is going to be for me to make this like an every other week occurrence, right? To, on the one hand, give you guys like a creative starting point for a track, and then on the other week I will give feedback and comment on people's tracks to see if maybe they can change up production or improve some parts of their track in any way, at least according to like my opinion. And what that means that like every Sunday it's going to be very interactive, the stream that I try to do. Because I think that's the fun of live streaming, is to organize something that people can interact with in other ways than just sitting and watching. This way we can have like fun together. I get to listen to what you guys are up to with the production. I can see how you guys handle challenges like this, and how you guys kind of produce in a speedy way. And obviously while watching the stream you can also see what I do and how I try to be creative with a sample like this. So as I said, for next week, if you want to have feedback on your track, there is a feedback on stream channel that you can post your music in. That's going to be exclusively for streaming. So I'm not going to like respond to it like I do with the normal feedback channel, where normally you can just put in and I'll try to respond to people's tracks. Even though I don't always get to people's tracks in that way, but there's also others who give feedback and discuss people's music. This is just for it to be on stream. That does mean that you give me permission to broadcast this content. That's important because I get a lot of, I think even today, what I'll probably see is after the stream, I'll immediately get 1 or 2 copyright like claims and I have to defend them again. I don't want to go through that hassle with, how should I say, with like the feedback stream, because obviously that takes away from the enjoyment from my side. So for that reason, I'm not going to give feedback on, how should I say, like released music or collaborations or especially remixes. That's going, it should be first of all an original track. It cannot have like a vocal from like a popular pop song in it, because in that case I cannot really defend my copyright on that thing. I can try to, but then they'll go after me, right? Then they have like a good case for why it's infringing on their copyright. So, but I think if everybody just thinks about it like logically, how what they can get away with in terms of copyright, then that should be fine. But keep in mind that the stuff that is feedback on stream is going to be on stream, and therefore I need to deal with the consequences of it being on YouTube and on the internet. So no popular vocals, no popular samples, stuff like that. Either way, it's 1 minute left. Again, if you want to participate in the challenge info is where you can find the sample. In about a minute we're going to get started, and then we're going to get into the actual production of things. I'll play the sample one more time so you guys can hear it again for those who are just joining us. The cool thing about this sample is that it's not just like one sound, and that there's like certain parts where there's just like another sound playing. And I think it is going to be really cool to see how people like isolate it and stuff like that. Okay, so the timer is done. I'm going to open up the script. I hope everybody is ready, and we're going to start production. Okay, let's see. I first of all want to organize this into my actual project. And the way that I want to start playing with the sample, first and foremost, is I want to turn this into a lead so that I can use it as a main lead as well. I want to have a few different ways of like playing with it. What I'm also going to do is get myself a kick and a bass. So probably something like that. That's a nice sounding kick, nice deep kick. I'm going to deliberately make myself a little bit harder by going in a different BPM as well as key. Turn off the warping because that's always nasty. Make sure that this copies well. And for now we'll turn off the original sample and we'll import a bass line. Hello Klaus, how are you doing? You're not late, you can still join in the challenge if you want to. For everybody who's just joining us, exclamation Discord if you're not in the Discord server already. If you are, then it's in, what's the channel again? Challenge info. There you can download the sample and start playing with it and get into the actual challenge. That's a little bit high. Okay, I quickly want to import. Excuse my roommates. Let's set this to the baseline. I will set this to kick. I want to spend 2 seconds making sure that my kick and bass sounds nice. Okay, so it's a little bit loud now. -8 and -9. I think the release is a little bit too short. This should work. Yes. Okay, so from here I want to see if I can turn this into a lead somehow, and the way that I want to do that is with some kind of like granular synthesis. 0.1. Do you master your tracks on your own or do you finish it by someone else? I have had in the past people who help me finish tracks, but most of it I mastered on my own and I mixed on my own. And I still plan on like continuing that way. Let's see, I want... Okay, so this needs to be tuned up by 1. Now it's in key. It's perfect. And I should be able to randomly modulate the sound that we have by modulating the starting position. Let's not have the beginning and the end here. That's already cool, but I just want like static changes. Okay, a bit more attack. Nice slow decay. I can turn this into a bit more of a plucky one. And do you test your tracks on big sound systems as well? No, currently I do not perform live, which is a shame. I want to get into that, but it's a hard world to get into, especially if you're living in a small town. Which isn't really an excuse, but still. Let's... Would it be cool to change the transpose or like the pitching here? No, that doesn't really work. I can set this to double the length. Or like half the length. That's kind of cool. Let's duplicate this LFO. Let's add our filter. I want a bandpass filter. And this should be mapped to the frequency. Okay, let's add some delay. I'm looking at the bassline and it's fairly dark sounding bassline that we have. So we're going to take this very bright sound and try to make it into a very dark track. It's going to be interesting to see how we can do that. This warped? Changed in any way? Why is it shorter? Ah, because this isn't warped. Ah, this has to be warped then again, because I'm in a different BPM. As I said, making the challenge hard on myself. Okay. I'm going to make a new audio track for this. I just want to get the tail and see if this sounds good. This is now in G. If I unwarp it, I can go F, E, D sharp. That's a nice sound. I can use that as an intro sound. This is maybe like a second drop kind of sequence, I would say. Did I add my sidechain? I did do something with the sidechain. it's all about speed at the start of this challenge, right? Because you want to get your idea out as fast as possible. Okay, so this needs to go. It's always hard to get your idea out and to make something that you're instantly inspired like by. I want to use kind of the mute productions trick, I think. Let me quickly go. I use this website here to get frequencies. I am in D sharp, so I'm going to get this. And this then goes, I believe, to the fine tune, if I'm not mistaken. I need to brush up on my mute production sound design. It's not that, it's this. I think this is it, right? And then we can use the macro for the amount. But what are you doing right now? Is the challenge finished? No, the challenge just started. You just download the sample and you make a track from it. You can use it in whatever way that you want. And the goal is just to make a track. As you can see, I have the sample in here. Currently, this is turned off, so it doesn't really matter. But I kind of cut out a part of the sample. I took a different part of the sample and turned it into a synth. Here, this is also the sample, just playing a very short snippet together with the filter. So you can use the sample however you want to make a track from it, and you know, just experiment with it, get some cool creative ideas out. There's no real limitations with what you can and cannot use. You can import different sounds, stuff like that. As I said before, I don't like to limit people's creativity. The whole point of these challenges is at the starting point for new creative ideas. Apparently my cat is beginning the challenge. I hear kick in the studio. We'll get in there before she finishes the track. Or he. To be honest, I don't know. Too tired. That's okay. Still, I hope you enjoy the stream. Still pretty bright for what I want to get from it. Let's see if we can make this a little bit more of an aggressive, like, plug sound. If I warp this, I can... probably get some lower frequencies out of this as well. Get some nice distortion on it. Yeah, there is like a big spike here. I go like this. Also get that one out. Overall increase the tone again. I can get Serum Effects. Netting tools. Oh, Serum Effects is in other. Strange. It's good to be organized like this, but sometimes I forget where things are, even though the menu is like very well organized. Note latch, I should be able to set this to 1/8. Like that. Get a chorus in there. I want very small chorus. I need to tune this chorus, I think. Let me just quickly check the website here. So for tuning, you just go here and then 1000 divided by this. It's 25 divided by that. I want that divided by 2 for 12.8. 12.8 is the amount of milliseconds that I'm going to get in here. Or I can try 6.4. But this is tuned now, so now it sounds in key. Okay, I can put the distortion afterwards. Let's get an OTT on there. Get a reverb. Oh, it opens up the wrong one. Well, actually, no, this is a reverb that I like. Let's actually freeze that because it does sound a little bit strange now. There may be an issue with it playing wrong. Yeah, there it is. If I record it, it should be okay. So that's 30. Cool way to make one-shots. I'm going to save that track just as an idea for later. I can make more one-shots from that maybe. See, let's get into the next one. I want to see if I can isolate maybe this part here. Where's we have the screech. Just if we take this part and put it on a track. See if we can isolate the higher bits a little bit. Okay, I want to use delay here because I feel like this delay needs a little bit of reverb on it. Like that. I'm going to black hole this for a nice big ambient sound. Hello Malogify, how are you doing? Nice to see you joining as well. You should have plenty of time to get some ideas down and to get a nice track going from this challenge. The point is to make a track from the sample that you're given. You can add whatever you want. You don't have to use the track for all of the sounds that are in there. Just play around with it however you want. I had an idea here going, I think. Can maybe make a pattern for this. Okay, what I want to do is just set up the automation for that quickly. Obviously we have to stay in the top half for this to work. I like to maybe have a bit more variation in there. Just kind of moving things around. I don't know what's going to work. If there's any particular parts in there that's just not going to sound good. Add our echo. I might not keep it like this actually. I've rethought my strategy and I'm going to go for like a little one shot, I guess. Sorry. Am I buffering? Oh. You can use generally the Black Hole default preset. Yes, yes, Black Hole sounds good out of the box, straight like that. Okay, let's have this go down a bit, and then from here it goes back up. We need to combine that with a lot of different leads then if we want this to work, which is going to take quite a while, I guess. Actually, let's play with Vital. The Vital Experiment, that's the first one that I'm going to do, which is actually a wavetable I have in Serum, so I have to use it in here. Vital Experiment. Let's play. Okay, mod source not on random. We'll add a downsampler. Okay. Obviously you want to be as fast as possible, so what I'm going to do for all of this group is just to put the effect on the group. Normally I don't do it. Normally I like to have my kind of each delay for each sound so I can control it. So you can use presets, right? Yes, yes, you can use whatever you want. I'm going to need to sound design a bunch of different sounds as quickly as I can, actually. Let's see if I can... Maybe I want to pitch this down one. Let's go OTT on this quickly to fix it. Hello Acid, how are you doing? A lot of people in here just observing the challenge. It's also good. I mean, the more participants we get, the better, but still, if you just want to join in, then that's okay. Use a bit more attack, I guess. Maybe even one lower. That's very dark. This synth is not really sitting well with me. Maybe I can do a format shift on it. Other. I should just combine tools and other, or have a bit more of like a distinction between the two. Because between those two menu items, I often get confused where I leave my stuff. This sounds very noisy. Let's put on the shifter here. And then frequency shift back up. I'm going to... Maybe it's cool to have these just kind of whoosh around over time. Greedo, how are you doing? This one is loud. This one is a bit quiet now, so this is going to go up. It's 19 people in the challenge. It's very nice. Great stuff. I'm good, so hope you too. I'm doing fantastic. We have a great challenge lined up. Here I want some more high ends. I do feel like I maybe already need to start thinking about what the overarching idea is going to be. Need some more high end from this. And remove some of that low end rumble, which we don't need. Add a saturator. Should be able to saturate the highest bit. Yes, I can echo this. Let's zoom in. There's always like this big haste towards these challenges, right? Because you're a little bit on the time pressure, even though it's like 3 hours, which is quite long. I still feel like I need to get a lot of work done. And with the last 2 challenges that I did, I came to the conclusion that I am able to make a full track, but still warming up and getting into that production like cycle where you can really make a lot of progress and get like become really fast. That's really hard for me. Jovan, I also find motivation and inspiration too, bro. It's more than a challenge to me. That's the goal. That's the whole idea behind the challenges, is to get you a starting block for maybe your next song. Okay, I'm probably going to go with like the standard Psytrance like drum structure of first thing kick and bass, and then we'll have the snare in there and then the hi-hats. So from here it should be all drums, which means that I'm going to deactivate this. I don't know how long I want to make it, maybe just like 1 drop. Obviously I don't want to have to deal with too much length. I don't want to do anything special that requires a lot of time for very small detail. I'm not going to worry about fills, stuff like that. So from here we have open hi-hat. I want to take this one. I'm going to unwarp. It's a bit too much fade. Oh, it's not properly timed. That's always a good idea to time it. Okay. I might not be looking at the chat a lot today because, again, I want to spend as much time worrying about those things that we're doing in the challenge. Oh. -4 here, -2. It's a little bit too short of a hat. Do I have... I guess this could become like a closed hat if I just do like this. And 7, and then this will be -3. Okay, I want this to be mono. Some of the effects still not open up properly. I recently fixed the most important one, which is M freeform phase, which is an effect I use on like all of my basslines. Mix this in. Okay, so I'm going to need more sounds still. 17 people watching and only 8 likes. Yeah, there's something that's not quite all right there. But I'm sure people will find the like button as more people point it out to them, like you do. It's Malogify's only real thing that he's doing here in the stream is every once in a while he just reminds... Well, I shouldn't say only thing that he does. He's always here. It's one of the core ideas of having Malogify in your chat is reminding people to like the stream. Which, I mean, it is nice not to have to do myself. Okay. For the challenges, the tone pack is really one of the easiest things to have because it's just boom, here's a sound. I just have to worry about the MIDI. I'll have this one. Like that. I think I'm going to give this a bit of a more movement. Can duplicate this to here. And then we can make this go the other way. Obviously, we need something that announces that thing happening. I need like a main vocal or something. Subman, will you listen to the hand-ins? Obviously, I will be listening to all of the submissions that you guys do during the challenge. Yes, there's a... Once you're finished, there is a challenge submissions channel, and we'll just go through all of the challenges that people submit. Okay, let's get Omnisphere so that we can Put some atmosphere down for the intro. I think it's this abandoned drum 1 that I actually found. This might actually be the sample that I used to create the original sound, so that would be a bit cheaty, but... yeah, this might actually be the one of the things that I used for that. We could sound match it. Desolation 2. That's kind of cool. I like that. And then here I'm going to make it longer. I want an EQ. This still has a bit of a click to it. We don't want that. I'll put this a little bit later. Here. See if we can make something else from the sample again. Let's maybe get the start here. Okay. And warp it 1, 2, 3, 4 down. Let's see if we can isolate that high kind of shimmery bit. Echo. Maybe I do want the higher frequencies. I want to freeze this so that it doesn't get in the way of what we're listening to. And then flatten. We get a nice sound here. I can duplicate this over here and there, so we have a little bit of a theme going through multiple parts. This will go there. For anybody who's just joining in and doesn't know what we're doing, we are creating a track from a sample. You're given this sample, you need to somehow work that into a track, and you can use it however you want. You can add other things to it as well. This is not about just using the sample, but it's about creativity in a whole bunch of different ways. There's no real limitation. Just turn it into a track. ! Challenge to get navigated to the Discord. and then you will find all of the information in the challenge info, which for now is just the sample. You download the sample, put it in your DAW, and play with it. At the end of the timer that's down below here, you're given a little bit of time to submit what you made, and then we're going to listen to it together. Okay, I do want a little bit of a synth going into this. Let's see what we're dealing with here. Maybe I'll just go for the classic 77 tone, which is my favorite tone out of the whole tone pack. I hope you can see why. I'll just make like a down and up again thing. This can go into our group. This is going to be our fill. I think here I will go with an M turbo verb on it because it feels a little bit dry still. Character Hall and then the bright version. A bit too bright. I'm not a fan of that snare. I thought I was going for a little bit of a darker, stronger snare, but I don't like it. There's a bunch of snares in here. This one, that one. They very much follow kind of the shape of a kick. This one as well. I don't like those. Which one is the one that I like again? I guess we can go with number 3 here. That also gets a nice strong vibe. Let's go here. Is 2-3 minutes long enough, or how long should it be? There's no limitation on how long you want or how long it should be. You can make it however long you want. As I said, there's no limitations. If you think 2-3 minutes is long enough and you want to spend a little bit more time on like detailing the minutes that you have, or if you want to make it longer and you want to make it maybe 5-6 minutes, then that's all up to you. At the end of the day, it's just a point for creativity and you can work with it however you want. A bit long, I would say. Yes. I like my snares very snappy. It doesn't often work in the mix, and there's a lot of things that I need to do about it in the mix later to get them to fit right. If I do like a normal snare, then it's easier to like mix it in. But I do like a very punchy kind of short sounding snare. Okay, so this sound is Let's look for a drum fill. Fill. Let's see. It's all very EDM-y. I guess this can work. Just put it in here. Okay, I want a kick roll in here. Let's go fill. We'll kick roll up until here. This is gonna go max 12. I need to get my filter rack. Utility doesn't work through the menu. I need to scroll down here. It's all about being fast and being quick. I need to redo the menu parts. It is a bit too bright now. I'm going to EQ that. I would say that like these production challenges, they're a very nice way to just improve like your speed as well. Like your production speed, which is always a good thing, right? Okay, so we need a new extra like lead on top of this. I'm thinking like an asset line could work. Can you turn up your DAW's volume for us? Oh, desktop -6 to -3. This better? I just added 3 dB to it, so maybe, hopefully that's better. I can do it a bit more. All people say that the sound is okay. I'm getting conflicting messages here. I'm going to go up another 1.5 dB. Obviously I don't want to like have it be louder than my voice, but I think there should be a sidechaining on there, right? Oh no, I have it off. Now it should be on there. So now I can turn up the DAW volume to 0 and then it should just duck to my voice. This should just get my voice. Hopefully that's now not too loud and I'm still like understandable. Nice, okay. Big fat tube distortion. I'm not always the best at making asset lines. Maybe one more. Yeah, that's kind of the right spot, the sweet spot. I think that's nice. This is going to be our envelope shape. Okay, I want to shorten these notes a bit. I think that's a decent melody. The stream altogether was a bit quiet, I think. Because Serum is not gain stage yet. Yeah, there's obviously my whole track is like at minus 8 dB because I put everything 8 dB lower, so that's also an issue. But I just compensated that with turning it up in OBS. A bit quiet on my end now. I quickly want to record it because I feel like maybe my kick and bass is quiet, which should be strange. While I'm working on that, I'm going to go to the next segment. It's okay now. Perfect. Perfect. I want to hear the voice louder than the music, making music now. For me it was better before. Don't touch nothing, I won't. I think maybe my main lead sounds here are a little bit too loud. Here we really want this asset line to come in later. And then we go back to all one shots again. Maybe not this one. Let's see if we can make some more one-shots that kind of fit. Where do we have the space? Here. Just at the start. No, there's already a thing there. I guess here, and then here as well. Yeah, we can do that every like 2 bars. Oh. It's a nice aggressive thing here. We go with a bandpass on that. Let's go up for this one here. And I'm going to do this every other thing here. And I also saw maybe some squelches. I think that that's a good idea. Squelch. I generally, for my squelches, use this preset here. Just delay and reverb off. This velocity controlled, it isn't. Let's make it so. Velocity. Okay, now all I need to do for this preset to work is automate the filter. And I guess what I can do is add a faux, give it a random one every 1/2 notes, or not 1/2. Oh, 1/8 notes. This maps to there. And then this goes synced, random, 1/8. Chebalbe, how are you doing? I hope I'm not mispronouncing your name. Are you going to have some rhythmic percussions in this one? Maybe I'll find like a percussion loop, but I don't want this part to be too busy here. I could do like a drum loop in the next bit, I guess. It's kind of like a classical next move. To after 64 bars, do like your rhythmical parts. I think I'll make them myself actually, because I have a thing in mind. Want this one. This one. Oh, I need another audio track. Kind of just have this repeat here, and I might add some variations to that as well, but we're going for a classic echo. Very little. I'll go for a wooden room on this one. Maybe if I can find some like handpan or very small percussions that I can layer under that, that would be cool. Tops, no. Distorted Foley drums, percussion loops specific. Something like this, yeah. If I can just make this go like faster. It's all slightly off time. That's very annoying. Should probably go with something closer to like... that has a swing to it. Okay, this is worked. 1, 2, 3. I think it's actually maybe a bit too low still. Okay, so we all have like very standard Psytrance stuff here now. What I want to do next is find a vocal, any form of vocal. Oh, this is all drum loop still. Vocal. Ethnic. This is kind of the basic part where you go for very what's the word? Kind of cliche psytrance loops, right? That's very short. That might be cool, but it's too bright. No idea what it means or if it means anything actually. I think we can use this, unwarp it, and then go 1, 2. We add our delay. Distorting here. I don't like that this one saturates. Let's see, like this. That's sounding nice. It's very cliche, but it works, so I guess that's okay. Black hole. I guess I don't want it here. It sounds terrible there. Quickly get another drink. It's only been an hour. How's everybody else doing with their challenge? I think mix-wise this one could be a little bit lower. I think in terms of structure, we want another, like, 4 or like 16 bars here. I'm thinking of doing it like this. Let's move this all forward. And we'll just kind of continue this in here. I guess this can fade like this. And wait. Let's duplicate like so, and then crossfade these like this so that they continue. And then we'll go very traditional psytrance and go low pass kick and bass filtering in. Just to hit all of the cliches. Okay, so low pass. I'm going to render that vocal actually before we do anything else, because the 100% feedback is getting really annoying. If you want to hit all of the cliches, you have to add a triplet part. We still have time to make a second drop, yes. Okay. That can go in here. This is gonna do annoying things. We want big impacts. Maybe I want this to be here, then. That's very loud, sorry. EQ8 out all of the subs, because we don't need it. Ah, it's late, that's why. Also to 70, and then this goes up. We should have a utility on both of them to gain down like 3-4 dB. Not so cliche, I think, in that way. Well, it's not like cliche, but it's all of the standard kind of psytrance rules for arrangement. which personally, when I'm producing like normally, I like to break. Like the standard rule of, okay, kick and bass here, snare there, and then you go into your hi-hats, and then your second, like 64 bars is your like rhythmical drop, right? All of those kind of standard ways of doing sidetrans, I really don't like to produce that way. But I can understand why they're there. Asset line is also a very overused element. But I do like to use some asset lines. I'm gonna be honest there. I'm part of the problem there. Let's do like another classical sidetrans synth while we're at it. The classical kind of bandpass plugs. Let's go higher octave. I think I like the standard way. I mean, it is a standard way for a reason, right? It is standard because it has been tested and it works. But it does limit you a little bit in like creativity, in my opinion. So we want decently high feedback. How was this again? I think I want to macro this or modulate this. And then this. With the 1 also a little bit lower. I think that's it. That's the kind of classical phaser. Just because something is overused, it should not discourage someone to use it. That's not what I'm saying. Definitely not. When you find a new way to use it, then it can be very interesting. When you just use it because you feel like you have to, then I would discourage it. We need another kick fill to get full circle with our cliches of sidetrans. -3. Go like -8. 6. 4, and then this one will be like -2. This one like -5 or something. Yes. Here we go back into this. I'm getting a whole track finished before the end of the challenge. That's crazy. What time are we at? Oh, it's just like 3 minutes. So it's still not crazy. I think I'll just write like a first drop and then I'll worry about a few different ideas. Let me quickly kind of like bring out a structure. I think I'll just fill in this part here, and then I think it's better to just go a little bit into like mixing and stuff. The first one doesn't need a sidechain, actually. Okay. I want something like a flute. Like a big flute. Oh, got the wrong thing there. I want my Omnisphere. Lotus flute is maybe a good one. This acid line again here. Now I've made it so that it just really comes in towards the second half here, and then here it's just going to be the full lead, right? The full power lead. Okay, so this needs a bit of work. I think I've said it before, but I've become a big fan of Stereo Maker because it's just like one knob action. And then you have stereo in a very good sounding way. Too loud. Okay, I want to go like this, this. Oh. I mean, I guess that works. We need a little bit of a fill here. Guess we can not do that. We can put this on here and then go so. I guess I'll do it like this. It is sounding nice, yes. Groovy. Might be cool to go an octave higher here and then turn this into a fill of some sort by going down. Doesn't really make sense structure-wise, but I think it's a cool idea nonetheless. Time for another vocal shout here at the end. Bring back this sound. Bring back this sound. This goes down 4. I just wanted to include the sample a bit more, and this would be the kind of sample that I would go with into like the break. Kind of the classic way to do that as well. What up, Cider? How are you doing? Sorry I missed it, we'll try to make it next week. Next week is feedback. So in 2 weeks we'll have another challenge. I'm gonna alternate between giving feedback on stream and doing challenges on stream. This one is D#2, this is D#3. This one I want to go up an octave then. I don't think I'll go with like the triplet cliche, but one of the cliches that I would like to add to this track is like the high pass thing as well. I mean, if you want to still interact with us in the next stream, you can always submit a track for feedback if you want to. That's always fun too. This is 6/8, this is 6/8 as well. I'm going to just finish a track here within the challenge. I never thought that I would do that, but with the speed that I'm going at now and producing the whole thing, I might as well just go for it and just like finish it. Make it as easy as possible. There. I've been working on something for a long while. Nice. Well, only if you want to. I don't want to force you, but you say that it's a good track and you are interested in getting some feedback. Nope, these need to go there. Tenka, how are you doing? I think triplets is a little bit... You can gate the vocals into the next part. Just to get another cliche out of the way, that's true, yes. Where is it? Do I have transgate and dynamics? I mean, it does change the dynamics, but I wouldn't. I guess for full effect we're going to go with the full thing here then. I guess we can have these on their own, right then? I'll make them a bit louder as the delay is. Nice fade going. Oh, that kick and bass can't be crispier than that. Thank you, but it's just my standard bass patch. It's nothing crazy. I'll make a video on this, because there is some cool stuff in here, especially with the... We're not using it, but this EQ is like tuned to the key. So if I were to play different keys, then it would move. Two cliches. We're trying to catch them all. All of the cliches. I guess we'll go back into our standard squelches and our standard bandpass plug leads here. This one could be a bit louder. Triplets or swing bass. I could do both of those things, but those things take a lot of time, which is not what I want for the challenge. I still need to add effects. I want to add a crash now. Let's get with let's go with this, and then oh, this already has an impact here. Did I make this in less than 2 hours? Yes. This is 1.5 hours. It's 3 hours minus the time you see on the timer. Which other parts need. That's this, and this. Right? I feel like this may be still a bit too loud. Stereo control. Bro, it takes me hours just to make a kick and bass, and at the end I still get negative feedback and I have to remake it. It's because you work for hours on your kick and bass. Just keep it simple. Like honestly, it's a much better idea to work on your idea than it is to work for hours on your kick and bass. For the challenge, I guess I'll have to use samples. I mean, if you still want to participate, that's always cool. It has been going on for a while. You can still participate, I'm not saying that you can't. We'll get our fill. Is this the right thing? No, this is it. Nobody will remember your kick and bass, work on your story, bro. I agree 100%. I even said that I think yesterday in someone's feedback. Somebody was asking like, how do I do this one detail on the kick and bass, and I came back with the idea of just don't bother. We're going to start a movement in this psytrance community of people just not caring about how their kick and bass sounds. Okay, here we're going to go back into the acid. Want this impact in our break, which is there. I guess this is a little bit bland. Delay on there then. I'll go Convolution Pro. Ah yeah, sometimes it opens up the wrong thing. I don't know why, but there's apparently 2 Convolution Reverb Pros. That's nice. We need some more effects, more like little things. I guess ambience stuff. I think ambience, this kind of stuff. This can work as an element in the whole thing. Warping off, 1, 2, 3. I mean, we already have a flute, but this is a different one. What else can we? All this kind of stuff. I mean, I'm using samples now, so it's really easy to do this, I guess. I should say. Let's reverse this into here. It doesn't really resolve like this. I do think that we need to like finish the sample, which would make it like this maybe. Yeah, we do need to go like towards the end of the sample for it to work. Like this. Okay, that's cool. Echo on here. Where else can we put all of this? Let me see. This one can go here. This one is like an intro part. Then we'll have a final outro, which will just be kick and bass without the drum stuff. I just want to copy like 4. And then here, there. Did I pitch this? Ah, that's why it's sounding strange. So we pitch up 1. And that means that this then goes there. Did he edit the melody of the vocal? It's the original. It's just like a Kashmir sample. If you want the exact sample, Kashmir Alp female 04F, and I pitched it down. I think before I froze it, I did that. I still have an hour. I didn't expect this to go so fast. I can add the power lead from the beginning of the last part. Power lead. This one. Mixing and mastering in the last hour and then it's ready to release. I don't know if I want to release something like this. It's definitely not my style. I guess I could add this on top of... Yeah. Before the outro, I mean the second part of the track. Which power lead are you referring to? This one. To like stab something like this. I guess we can have that here. It's actually this part which is getting pretty full now. Art by me. Some here I think I'll just go up again. For the outro we want our thing here. I'm glad that you guys like it though. If this track would be released, it would be released under the same premise as that high-tech lead I made in the first thing. Or the high-tech track that I made in the first challenge. I would make a separate SoundCloud to dump all of this stuff up. I love the whole idea, by the way. To bring like more tension movement, new lead. Ah, something new. It is getting pretty full here now. It does need like a little bit of a build-up, I would say. Let's make like a snare build-up. Snare. I have about an hour to find another snare. That's something I struggle with a lot, finding the right snare for like psytrance build-ups. Because I don't want to go too dubstepy. I guess for this track, that's kind of what we want, since we're hitting all of the cliches. That remix here, there should be. Having like one of those big snares is kind of like cliche as well, isn't it? Like this, and then like this. Oh, that's one too early, I can fix that later. Perfect. You please. This goes up. Goes this. And obviously we want our reverb to go like this. What is it again? It's, I believe, 3, 6, and then 12, right? Or 3, 6, 9. There's like a trick to getting it. I think that's it. Oh, I still needed a crash. We still have a track open for crash. Cymbals, crashes. Nice big crash. Unwarp, let's go. That's it. Bit loud. If you can try to find the perfect snare you would need for an eternity, it's not possible. I started an hour late but trying something. That's always nice. That people who are late still kind of go in there. I try to give people enough time, even if they're a little bit late, to still be included. I mean, you can see what you can do in 2 hours. Should it be a full song or can it be a fragment of a song? It can be a fragment of a song. Don't feel forced like you need to do the whole thing like I'm doing. To be honest, I wasn't expecting to be making a whole song either. See what I can do in 2 hours. I mean, if I can do it, you can too. Don't doubt yourself. I think we're missing something here. A few more synths in here could be sounding good. Do we have our alternative leads in here? This stuff. I don't like it that it's playing the same thing twice, the ghost violin. Maybe we can find something that can replace the ghost violin. Where was this? Show in browser. Something like this. Obviously we pitch it up. Unwarp. Nice, it becomes longer. I always like when samples become longer, especially when you know that you need to pitch them up. I guess you can have the synths almost over here. We've already used one of these areas. Within the tone packs, kind of there's like areas where all of the tones kind of sound similar. So I try to avoid using the same area over and over again. I didn't really design it that way. To be honest, it wasn't really designed at all. It took me an afternoon to make that pack, and it's one of my most successful products out of all of them. And I think I know why, because it's just so easy to play with and get a good sound out of it. I mean, that's just a synth, and it's just that tone with a filter on it and you're done. Then you go here, add your free, I think this is free still, stereo maker, boom. Add an EQ. That, and an echo for delay. And you have your sidetrans synth. It's that easy. That's how you can do challenges like this in 2 hours. Duplicate it over, make a different modulation. I'll switch the MIDI notes around a little bit. Finally, I'll go to the convolution reverb here. And we have a big sounding effect. I think this will be what I'll use for like the second drop part here. Just so that there's a nice distinction between the first drop and the second drop here, even though there's like nothing in between. I want to use this here. Goes there and here. We have a little bit of a click in here because of this. I want this to go forward then. I guess I don't want this here at the start. I guess when it comes to mixing, we can do some things. I think this will be also the case in here. What usually happens with my mixes is that my hi-hats are too dark. I tend to mix very dark. And I want to get, seeing as we have still an hour left, I want to be able to, where should I go? Here. I'll just export it here. I want to do like the true balance check to see if I also have that problem here. And if that's the case, then I can preemptively just do that. Because I think I'll just get this mixed and mastered within the last hour, as people are suggesting. I think that's the best idea. There's not much more space that I have left to add things. Hello Steels, how are you doing? Welcome to the stream. So for true balance, we go in tools, we go true balance. Sessions, what day is it today? It is 29/01. YouTube, stop deleting what I write. What is it deleting? Are you sending links? The only thing you cannot send is links, I think. Let me check. Where do you find that again? I think settings. Permission, community, automated filters. Oh yeah, I have some blocked words. I have DM, NFT, Telegram, WhatsApp, and WhatsApp capitalized blocked on my channel, so that it doesn't show you those kind of like, oh, you've won my giveaway, go here to claim your prize, whatever, those kind of things. And I have it block links. That's all of that. It's, don't put emoji at the end. That's strange. I have a few blocked words, and the reason for that is to keep you guys safe from those potential, like the very annoying what's it called? Those scams where they try to impersonate me or whatever content creator they're targeting, and they post like a comment with, "You've won my giveaway. Go here to claim your prize," and then it's just a link to an NFT or whatever. We get some references in here. Oasis is a good reference for this one because it sounds very similar. It deletes it. I've heard that before, that it deletes for certain people the messages with emojis in it. But I mean, go look up in the chat, and Greedo also sent messages with emojis in it. Jovan sent emojis. Psyder sent messages with emojis. So it makes no sense. There's like random spots in which it just deletes certain messages. Because I don't think I have my Stream Elements bot actually moderate my chat. While it's doing this, I can check. Dashboard. NFT tipped $1. Hello, I'm Projector. You won an NFT. Yes, exactly. Spam filters? Do I have filters off? Yes. There's no protection against spamming and stuff like that. I think you guys are all nice people, so I trust you will be able to just keep the spamming and stuff to a minimum. Yeah, can you see it's mixed very dark? We have a bit too much sub, and from like this area from 300, I'm just lacking content. I mean, the easiest way to fix that is to go in my V3 mix, go shelf. What was it? 300? This doesn't even go there. Nice. I guess we'll do the M equalizer. See you later, brothers. Sorry for the distraction anyway. No problem. It's not like the track isn't already finished. It's a little bit of a crude way to do it. Still, I want these to be a little bit brighter. Let's go a little bit lower on this area, and then I'll Lufticus it. Lufticus. Okay, I can master this. I put this before here. Oh, now it's way too strong. Strange. Free clip. Oh, I want to see my kick and bass, actually. That's actually clean. What will be the problem is my snare. Modulation and a LFO tool. I can set this to 1/8 actually. A bit more control. Master recording, let's see. Yeah, I can clip this a little bit more, maybe. How much was I boosting here anyway? 2. Do a little bit less. It might be a bad idea to just have this EQ here, right? Because I don't want the kick and bass to actually go through that, I guess. Or do I? I guess it doesn't really matter. I'm actually writing a book with, if I put the concept together with ChatGTP. Sometimes universe is fun. Imagine using this name if I had a story format. That would be pretty cool. But you cannot argue that I stole something from you that you have not yet made. If you would have produced this track properly, what more or better would you have done? If I had produced this properly, I would have not gone with D sharp. First of all, I like to make my psytrance a little bit lighter. D sharp is known as a key that is very, very dark. Had I produced it properly, I would have sound designed a lot more myself. I would have spent a lot more time getting vocals for it. Right, the whole point of this is doing it as quickly as you can. Whereas with my tracks, and you see that I think also on the live streams that I do, I spend a lot more time on the finer details. So all of the whole structure is just very basic. There's no time spent on transitions, there's no time spent on fills. So everything works because it's like the easiest way to do it, and that's not how I like to make my music. So free clip is on here. Let's add boost and see how that impacts things. I still feel like it's now a little bit on the bright side, but that's just because I'm correcting for my normal biases. Where is here? Boost. Attention to details and originality. Very well said, yes. Don't get me wrong, it's not like this isn't a good psytrance track. But I wouldn't release this like as a projector track. Maybe I'm squashing this a little bit too much, I would say as well. Sounds pretty solid, just snare it loud without the hats. Thank you. Yeah, without the hats, it's like too quiet. And with the hats, it's too quiet, and without the hats, it's too loud, I would say. So let's get an easy fix for that by just going... Not here, on the snare. Let's mix it in with this. I've noticed producers change their name if they try to make something different, as if people look for the type of music instead of the person's creations. Yes, so I've talked about this with the last challenge as well, when I made that high-tech thing. I'm perfectly fine releasing this track as is, just not under the alias of Projector. I might make like... One, there's also like quality standards when it comes to release for Projector. I want to have a certain like quality to the release itself, and I want to be able to push it to all kinds of platforms. And all of that just takes time, and I don't want to spend that amount of time on a track like this, because this is just something that I make for fun with you guys while you guys are like watching and we're like chatting and all of that. This is not like a serious musical creation for me. So what I would do in terms of release is I would just put this on SoundCloud, maybe make a YouTube channel, maybe make a Bandcamp, but I wouldn't go as far as to put this on Spotify, at least not at the start. Like if people really want me to, then I can maybe see if it's worth the hassle. But first of all, I would do that under a different name. It would never be like under Projector. I've thought about a few different names. But it would basically be like a second channel. You know how big YouTubers have like second channels where they post all of their stuff that is not like the quality that they want on their main channel? That would be this, but as an artist for me. Right, where I put on all of my like random stuff that I make and stuff like that. I've thought about the name Experimenter because it's linked to Projector, but it also indicates that it's me experimenting. I think that would be pretty funny. It's like a pretty funny play on words. So maybe I'll do that. But it's not something that I want to spend a lot of time like thinking about, right? It's just something that, oh, I made this cool track in a challenge, let's post it, I'll give it a cute name, and then bam, it's up there. And that's it. Hats are pretty loud too. I will check again if I think that the hats are a little bit too loud. We'll check again with this later, because I need to render it out first. Now my DAW might be a bit too loud because it's mastered. Let me know if I need to turn it down again, because normally you never hear like the mastered versions of my track. Projector. That's also a good one. I'm even turning it up only because I like it. That's good to know. At least I'm doing things right. Hello Justin, how are you doing? Wonder what happens if I just extend this from here. Not there then. Control Z. Hello? Control Z just stopped working. Nice. I want to extend it from here. Why does that not work anymore? It's not like it's messing with another application or something? Good, thank you. And yourself? I'm doing very well. We're doing a challenge, and all of that you hear was made in 2 hours. 2.5, I should say. So I'm very happy with the results. How long are you going to take for the reviews? I'm just gonna listen, say a few words, and then from one to the next. Not much time. Guess a little bit of like stereo wouldn't hurt here. Maybe even like a slight reverb. That brings a little bit of life into those percussions. I like that. To be honest, I'm done. I don't need the 3 hours to finish a track. Obviously, I could do more. I could maybe let's work on the intro. Because that's just this. It's maybe a bit boring. No. I mean, it's just going to be like copying over some sounds, like this thing. Maybe this here. It's a kind of eerie sound, I love it. Thanks! What's the big impact here? Ah, this thing. We don't want that. Ah, this still has sub bass in it. We don't want that. Projector that took a different path. I've also thought about the name Beamer, but also with like one letter spelled incorrectly, because projector with a C is like the projector to like project a screen, which is what you will find if you Google my name. So for that reason, I also thought of that as like a fun play on words. I do want it to be something clever. Something like that. We can find some like forced things, forced sounds maybe. I guess I'll keep this off. Holographer. I don't know if that ties too well with projector. That is maybe a bit too different. But I'll think about something. If I really want to do that, then I'll think about something cool. I guess you could use this and then stretch it out up until here and then texture. No, that's a bit strange sounding. Control Z works again, so that's nice. Let's remove some gain from here. Let's go maybe like this. Make sure that this is off here. Do you know Florida's name came from Florida? Now that I see it like spelled out, I can see why that would be the case, yes. But I've never thought about it like that. Is the meaning, which is sick. I mean, it does work, right? It is a clever wordplay. I love how the transient of the kick and bass are melting together. How do you achieve this? Well, the kick is just one of my samples with this EQ on it. And the bass is my kind of like standard bass pack or bass patch that I use, which I will talk about in a YouTube video at some point. There's some very interesting synthesis stuff that we're doing here, which doesn't really matter for the sound at all. I made this in the last stream. So if you want to see how to actually make this, then it's all in the last stream. If you really want to go through it and look at the whole thing. I think we took over 1.5 hours to actually make this, because there was a lot of chatting involved and explaining and experimentation. The way this waveform came together, because it's all based on this waveform, is if I put in a serum, I can show you what the waveform is actually doing. Only audio effect. It's not working. Normally it should make a new track for that, but I guess it doesn't want to do that. ASOS is this one. You see how it's like phasing like this? We also made this on stream, so if you want to see how to make this, then it's also on stream. But the way that you do that is with a plugin called, where is it? I guess in Tools, M-Freeform Phase. You run a saw wave through this, and you set this to 90, and or minus 90. As long as it's like the same number, it doesn't really matter what the number is. I like to do 90 so that you have like more control over the depth, and then you export it with the depth going up, and you turn that into a wavetable. From there, the processing, we have this EQ. This EQ is interesting because it follows the key of the bass. We spent a while experimenting with this external instrument thing to send MIDI to the equalizer so that the shift parameter can use that and actually shift around the EQ curve based on where the note of the bass is. So if I were to take this and place it up, I can actually show you. It moves up and down, which is cool. But not what we wanted for this track. So I'll keep that normal. Other than that, there's a filter on it and an equalizer on it. if I had to guess, there's nothing special that I'm doing. It's just good luck between the transient of this and the transient of this having kind of like the same spectrum, first of all, and then the fact that it goes through a master chain, right? Which is just gluing everything together. So key track the EQ, yeah, but that's not like the reason why it's doing what you wanted. So where you automated the modulation, but I did not have much time to look into it. Yeah, the waveform making, that's I think it comes from mainly the waveform, that my bassline sounds the way that it does. And now obviously the mastering. But we can test that hypothesis. We can test that theory quite easily by just turning our mastering off. It's a lot quieter now. Do you always switch on the mastering chain while producing? Never. This is only because I had time left in the challenge that I decided to master this. But usually what I'll do while producing is I produce the whole track, I'll give everything a name, and then I'll export each individual channel. I will mix it into Reaper. So I'll do like a final mix into Reaper, where I rebalance all of the volumes and I add my final effects and stuff like that. Like delays and reverbs, they're already added to the thing, right in the production. But things like the final EQ, the final spectrum, the final balance of which elements are main elements and which elements are supporting elements, all of that is done in the Reaper mix, which is, I like to mix separately. So, and then I obviously export from there and then master. So I do really have like a traditional like 3-stage approach to like production, which is not very common. I don't think a lot of people still do that, but it used to be the way to go about it. Is you produce your track and then you say, okay, we have to export everything, we go into a new project and we mix the track, and then we have to export everything, we go into a new project, and then we master the track. It's still going to be the way that you are going to work if you use like a mixing engineer and the mastering engineer, but it's for people who self-produce and do everything themselves, it's not often done, I would say. Exporting now. I'll also be exporting, actually. I'll have a final listen here. I want to check how long the reverb tail is. I wonder how many tracks we're gonna get. Okay, so up until here should be a good way. Export. There we are. Thanks for the info. No worries. I still have 12 more minutes to answer questions. Actually, for anybody else who is participating in the challenge, it is good information to know that there's still 12 minutes left. So this would be the time to actually start finalizing your track. Yeah, not much more to say. I have to charge phone actually, because after the stream I have to call my parents in about 1.5 hours, and it's 5%. Do you set the bass frequency of your kick to the key of the bass, or do you just set one endpoint in the frequency where you like it, for example in kick 2? So I use samples, first of all, and the way that I like to think about the kick is that a kick, when we look at a kick, right? When we look at the kind of the pitch curve of a kick, I'll put this on the new track so we can illustrate that. What the kick is just doing is it's just going like very fast at the beginning, and then for how far am I? And then for the final bit, like this, it's just like slowly going down. So there's no real pitch here, right? This is a constantly changing frequency. So to say that you need to tune your kick some way to a particular frequency, I mean, where in this curve do we define the actual frequency? Is it the endpoint? But at the endpoint, the volume is also going to go to 0. So it cannot be the endpoint because there's nothing there. There it's going to be silence. So how I like to tune my kicks, if you will, is you can make the tail constant pitch, but that doesn't sound good. I'm gonna be brutally honest. It doesn't really sound good if from like here it's just going to be the same frequency. You want a slight, and you can see it here. This is slightly faster oscillation than it is here, right? And then this is even slower here. So between here and here, the oscillation still changes. It was advice from that. Yeah, everybody has different ways of doing it, but I don't like the sound of a constant pitch on my kick. So I like to have, you know, the real punch and stuff like that. So how I tune my kicks is not on the key of the frequency, but on the tone of the sub bass. And the tone is not a specific frequency. It is I can kind of like define it as just like on ear. You look at, oh, how does it sound with my bass line? And you can definitely hear like differences here, right? If I take this and I were to add my frequency shifter, which is the common way to do that. Do I have it in here? Nope. Do I have it in here? I need to do more organizational work. Modulation, frequency shifter. You add your frequency shifter here and you listen to the kick and bass. Let's actually go to here. You can hear that this sounds too low. And this sounds too high. So you can find like a sweet spot. If you really wanted like fat sound, and you go like -5 on this one. This is too low sounding. Here it's too high. But to be honest, when it comes to my kick samples, the pack that I made, I just know that they work, so I never really have to do anything. I can just go in there and use them. If it sounds good, it's okay. Yes, exactly. Exactly. By the way, how are you doing, Nicola? Nice to see you here as well. We have all of the regulars today. There is an argument to be made that I should be more technical about kick and bass design, but I don't like to be, because to me it's the last 5%. Everybody is saying that, oh, this kick and bass is sounding nice, it sounds so good, what did you do, what did you do? And it's just, if you go back to the beginning of the stream, you'll see that I had my kick and bass down in, I think, 2 minutes. Not even, maybe not even that. It took me like no time. Sounds really bad on your tablet speaker. Well, yeah, that's not... yeah, that... I mean, you're right. It will probably sound very bad on your tablet speaker. I think it's a good idea that I put in my submission first, actually. Just give me a second. I'll put my submission in first, that everybody else can... Actually, before I submit, I wanted to check the final true balance values. Desktop. Here. Yep, that's a curve that looks nice. You can see it's a little bit below here. Actually, it's quite a bit below there. Which means that I could theoretically go like here. Do like a wide boost on that. I'm just going to re-render it. If you tune your kick, there's a possibility that you're 180 degrees out of phase. Yeah, depends. I also don't believe in... Okay, for this production, I should have probably done phase alignment between the kick and bass because I didn't remove the sub from the offbeat. But I normally remove the sub bass from the on-beat, sorry. Because I normally remove the sub and bass from the bass notes that line up with the kick, so I don't have to worry about phase alignment on the sub bass, but I worry about phase alignment on the transient. There's a bit of a difference there in philosophy. I'd like to have my transient line up in near a zero crossing of the kick. And you can't really do that if you also want to take into account where the sub bass kind of is. And just removing the sub bass completely removes that problem. I got no mastering. That's okay. There's no need to master. Everybody is going to have their own approach to making a good Psytrance kick and bass, and whatever workflow works for you. I think also a lot of people will be very surprised that I never process my kick and bass together. Right? My kick is always on a different group than my bass line. And a lot of people will have a kick and bass group where they can process them together and they'll add another layer of saturation or processing or whatever they do on there. I don't believe that that's needed, so I just don't do it. It saves me another step, which makes me more efficient when it comes to actually laying out my ideas. Okay, so now this is done. I want to be the first one to submit so that all of you guys submit later than me, and we can just go in order from everybody else for the challenge. If you don't tune, then you don't have that problem. Well, not for the whole bass note, but for some parts maybe. Because if it's not a constant pitch, then it can still go from in phase to out of phase. if you tune your kick, then if you're in phase, you can never go out of phase. But if it's not tuned, if you don't have like the constant pitch, then it can be the case that it still in some spots cancels and in other spots adds up. And I'm not sure which one I would like more. I think I would rather have the ability to just have it, right? But you don't need perfect phase for nice bass. Definitely not. I agree. In fact, this kick and bass, I just didn't look at phase relationship at all. Looking at the mastered section, I don't see any real issues here. So this just kind of happened, I guess. I mean, there's a bit of a mess here. That's not that big of a deal. Send you a DM with the Wave download link. You should just post it in the submissions already, I would say. We have a lot of people here. Because I'm going to play it on stream anyway. If you submit, then I'm going to play it on stream anyway. So it's going to be public anyway. At that point, you might as well just send it publicly. Right? I slowed it down a bit as I already had the kick and bass from one of my other tracks, 46 BPM. No problem. I also slowed it down. I went to 143, which is kind of my comfort BPM, I would say. It is too big for Discord, apparently. You can do what Rainy did and just send the Google Drive version or upload it to SoundCloud like Klaus did, and then share the private SoundCloud download. I do think that if you're going to participate in the public challenge and because I'm going to play your track publicly, right? Then you might as well just send it publicly, and there's definitely a few different ways to do that. Okay, so there we have a download link for Rainy's entry. I'll give you guys some more time to upload and then we'll go through it. We have some submissions already that we can listen to. Do you guys want the analyzers? The classic analyzers. I'll save this before it because the analyzers sometimes crash my stuff. I'll open up the analyzers. Yep. Shout out to whoever remembers this setup that I used to always do for the feedback. I'm bringing it back. Next week we're doing feedback stream. I'm bringing this back because it's a very good way of explaining different problems. It's not a good way to actually listen to a track, but once you're trying to explain issues that you find in the track, it is a very good way to tell other people what you mean. I actually need to set the inputs still, right? External inputs off. This should now work. And the SoundCloud link on Discord. Your entry. Are you not comfortable sharing it in the group publicly? Because I'm going to play it on the stream as well. So, wait. So you might as well share it. Get a few follows out of it if it's a good track. Either way, let's start with the first one. This is the entry from Hardwick. Um, we have the sample as an intro, which I mean is a good way to do it. Nice stereo bass. Questions coming in. I like those. I can't tell if that effect is also the sample. I think it is, no? I think this is also part of the sample. Going back into the rolling. Nice. Nice. Chat also seems to enjoy this one very much. I really like how you combine like your main elements and your like theming elements, right? You have your main elements, which were the I think there was two like different asset things in there, or one ARP and one asset thing, however you want to like quantify it. And then there was like another lead as well, but you then surround it with that one lead, or that one sound that is made from the sample, and other small kind of things that you did, and that really glues it all together. So that's very, very well done. Could still do way more, but time. Yeah, obviously, the point of this challenge is to give you a starting point. Unfortunately, I don't. You cannot use the sample to start off with, right? To release. But what you can do now is go into this project, delete the main sample, the one that you use as an intro, where it's clear that it's that sample that you used, and then just produce on the rest of the track. We have a lot of entries here, a lot of things to get through. Can I still send, or is it too late? You can definitely still send. We'll now go into Rainy. Projector challenge, sample only projector challenge. Which one is it? There's 3 files in here. Do I have to download this first? Sorry, I need a little bit of time to figure out what's actually going on. I have projector challenge, and then sample only projector challenge. Oh yeah, I cannot play them from here. I need to download the zip first because it's all in one file. Projector sample is the right one. Okay. After this, Altar of Wisdom is going live. What I'll do is I'll first listen to Klaus's entry and then we'll go back to your entry. So that it can download and I can extract it. This is Klaus K. Nice main vocal theme. Very nice. Very much a Klaus K track as I remember from the last few challenges. Very unique kind of sound that you have. Oh, it just continues to play the next one. That's not what I want. We have projector challenge.zip is not commonly downloaded and may be dangerous. Of course it's not commonly downloaded, it just happened. What? It's going to open up here. Okay, let's go 100%. This should work. This is AC Dime. That was via Ritual by Mind Be After. Was it? Yes. Nice ambient soundscape. I took the wrong file? Ah, I was like, there must be something else coming as well, but if that's the wrong file, then it's the one of the two projector challenges. Let's see which one it is. I think it's this one. That's only the sample. The one with my name written correctly. Okay, then it's the other one. Okay, here we go. Sorry. AC Dime. Let's have a listen. Very unique snare. I like that. Sounds very, very good. Those very low, like, wobbly things as well. Oh, it plays again. Yeah. So it was a little bit of a shorter track, but you can definitely hear that you took the 3 hours to really spend the time working on the details of the 1 minute and 40 seconds that you sent. Very, very nice. Who do we have next? Otto. That's Dippigus. Dippigus. I hope I'm pronouncing your names right, because I hate to mispronounce names. Dippigus Projector 3-hour challenge. We have another Transgate here. Very nice. Very nice. I don't know if you guys picked up on this, but within all of the drop, what was going on as well was that he took the sample, I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, by the way, but he took the main sample and frequency shifted it like up and down over basically I think the whole drop, and it's just like this background thing, but that together with the percussions that are going up and down creates a very good like background soundscape, and then it's all of the leads above it and stuff like that. So that's really cool. If that's really what you're doing, and if I'm guessing that well, then if I'm saying that something isn't right, then just correct me, please. But I think that's what I heard, what was going on here. I think those ambiances also come from the sample, right? Either way, yeah, something like that. Either way, it's a very cool sounding track. Very obviously, everybody's pointing out the tightness of the kick and bass and how sharp and well produced that is. But I think it's also cool to point out the little details that maybe people don't pick up on. Very good entry. Nibiru, next one. Let's have a listen.
People say they want this, that, and the other. They want this kind of car, they want this kind of dress, or so on. This much money, and so on. It's always a good idea to think it right through. What it would involve, be in that situation, to have those desires fulfilled, 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 fulfilled.
Ooh. You messed up? How? Tenka, this is high tech. Welcome to some next level stuff. It sounds crazy. It sounds very, very cool. These are handcrafted modulations. I'm pretty certain that this wasn't randomly achieved. Really cool. Really nice. I really like the fact that you didn't put the sample just in there. That you actually I think you put it up an octave or something like that. So it's not just like the sample as an intro, because it was very, very usable as an intro, and everybody kind of took up on that idea. And I like that you still use it for the intro, but it's different. So that's really cool. Next we have Wave-like, which I'm assuming is Wave Morpher in here. I should see the name now. Oh. Wave-like or Wave... I think it's Wave Morpher. You need to share your track... Yes, Wave Morpher. You need to share your track... Because it's a private track, you need to share it and not just copy the URL from the top. Because that's a different URL. If you want to share it, you need there needs to be more stuff. You can see it from the other SoundCloud URLs. So you need to go into your SoundCloud URL and then go under share, or I think copy link, right? Yeah. So under share or copy link, it's if I show it by Klaus's thing, it's this one here. You need to use that one, because otherwise I cannot access it. Now I'm getting, this track is not available, but in Italian. So if you can update that. Yeah, we'll go into size 1 first, so we still go in order, and then we'll go with your track. Salian. Is that how you pronounce it? Xylien. Projected challenge 150 BPM. Really bad mix and no proper mastering. We will be the judge of that. Very digital. Kind of like an old school kick and bass. The kick and bass mixing is not as tight as you would maybe want it, especially the transient of the kick. But if you fix that, then it's a great sounding track. I don't see the problem with like the mix itself or the master itself. Nice melodic part. Nice groovy bit. I mean, the mastering is good if you want to do some kick and bass separation, and then it's fine. Right, it's the transient of the kick that I'm hearing and seeing that's being cut off a little bit by post-stringing from the bass. So resample your bass line and then you should be done. I like it. Very nice. Very nice. The only thing I'm wondering here is, so some feedback here is the kick and bass separation that needs to be done, that just needs to be on point. Other than that, the track is very nice sounding. I don't know why you would say that it's not, that it's a really bad mix and no proper master. I think if you get your kick and bass separated well, then the master and the mix is just going to be just fine as it is. It doesn't really sound like it's like a problem to me. There's nothing that's like standing out to me other than the kick and bass separation. What I wonder is the ambiences in the drop. Are those different ambiences, or did you make them from the sample as well? Because they sound very, very eerie and very like unharmonic, right? So atonal is probably the right word. Aharmonic, maybe. Whatever the right word for that is. They don't really follow the normal harmonic structure. Some resample and some you add. Okay. Okay. I was wondering if there was like a specific process you used to take the very harmonic kind of sample that I provided you and then turn that into the kind of the atonal, aharmonic version of the sound. I do really like it though. Do really like it. We still have two more here. We have Wave Morpher next. This should also follow. And then after that we will finish off with Greedo. We had a lot of entries today. I'm going to go back and count how many entries we had, but this is a very good... If we can keep this up every week or every other week like this, then this is going to be very, very fun. I really like doing this. Psycore. Something like that, yes. It's very fast again. Is this my voice? Low end is a little bit strange. I think the kick and bass separation is the same problem as we had with the last track. But again, if you fix that kick and bass separation, then the sound design is very unique and very cool. I'm wondering, is this my voice? Because it does sound like it. It sounds like my voice pitched up. Next time sample that, is that my voice? Yeah, it is your voice. Sounds a bit wobbly in the low end, don't know what happens. Copyright claims, yes. I will sue you. Prepare to give me all your money. Okay, so this one, I think I have to download it before I can play it. And that will be the last one, that will be Greedo. Super slow, normally putting things together. Sorry for being late. You're not late. You're perfectly on time. A wizard always appears exactly when he plans to. Right? Is that or exactly when he needs to? I think that's the correct quote. Let's have a listen. Greedo, the last track for today. Ooh, we've got some progressive as well. I love the chords. That's very nice. Very into the details of things. Very tightly put together. Very cool. Wow, how many entries was that? Let's count. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 people who submitted. That's including me. So 9 other people except me. But still, that's amazing. It's a miracle you guys like this. I never expected that. I think the twist is the chords. That really does it for me, because that kind of ties it all together. They just sound very, very lush and very, very well. I also like that because I think the sample hinted a little bit at, if I go like to like a technical analysis here. If I take the sample just as a whole, it very much hinted at, oh, we take the sample and then right when the sample stops, we go into kick and bass. And I think almost everybody did that, including me at first, and still kind of do, but my kick and bass is like low pass. But I like that you didn't go into kick and bass and you kind of added your own thing to it and then went into kick and bass. So also there's like a little bit of a difference. I think overall, I didn't expect people to be so much different. Like we had 2 tracks that were like 200 BPM. We had some progressive stuff with what Greedo did. We had the whole bunch of different ideas in the sound design where people wanted to go, some really bright stuff, some really dark stuff. So really cool. And that's why I like to do these challenges. It's really cool to see each other's kind of production styles and stuff like that. And get inspiration from each other and creativity from each other. And I hope now that everybody has a track that if they delete the main sample, again, you cannot unfortunately release it with this main sample in there. There's going to be a few of these restrictions on the kind of challenges that I do. But if you delete the main sample and you take some other things and you put them in there, you hopefully can turn this into a track that you can produce. And hopefully with doing these challenges, we can continue to do that, and I can just inspire 10 people every 2 weeks to start a new project and to start a new track. And I think that's really cool. And if you do make it into a track, be sure to finish it, or not finish it, but be sure to make some more work on it before next week, because then we're going to be doing feedback on stream. Hopefully I get enough submissions for that over the coming week. If you have some tracks that you want me to listen to, there's going to be a different channel here. So this is the submissions one. This is feedback on stream. Next week I'll be doing feedback, and I'll just be listening to you guys' tracks and stuff like that. Enough tracks for an album. Yes, we could do a community album at some point. Thanks, Projector, for this type of content. I enjoyed so much. I enjoyed too. Thank you guys all for making it possible. It was really scary starting to do this. Do you need to wait for the feedback? Preferably, but a SoundCloud link is fine. It is good enough. As long as you don't export an MP3, because then above 16K there's like no information there. Unless you make Darkside, then there's no information there in general, so then it doesn't matter. We can make a mix of all these tracks too. If people want, yeah, we could do, at the end of the year I'll do a best of compilation, and I'll just do like a big mix of all of the tracks that people really, really like and stuff like that. That could be fun. Let's go back in here. Let's see. Ah, the stream is running behind for me. Either way, I enjoyed my time so much. I want to thank everybody for showing up for the stream. I do have to end it here because in about half an hour I have a call that I need to make, and I need to prepare for that a little bit. I could use a little deadline pressure. Well, nice. Here you have it. next week we'll do feedback, and in between I'll try to go live 1 or 2 times with like normal production and normal stuff. I want to do another stream where I make wavetables, because last time I said I wanted to do wavetables and I made 3 wavetables and then we just chatted and I made the baseline patch that I used for this track here with the cool stuff in it, with the following equalizer stuff. So I do want to make some actual wavetables next time. So I'll try to do 1 or 2 streams during the week, and then next Sunday, usual time, I'll be there. I'll put the notification out beforehand so you guys know exactly when I'll be live. Thank you guys all for being here. Nice to see everybody was here. We had a lot of regular people, so it's nice to see that I'm building up this community. Thank you guys very much.